2, 1, -1. Oh, well.
-1, -2, -3, -4. Hi, everyone. It was a dark and stormy night. Welcome to Murder by Murder, our murder mystery game here on Long Lost Lore. My name is Philip, and I am your parlor master. And surrounding me, but not above, so surrounding me on
I'm on the wrong side.
kind of 5 sides if you count diagonals, are my wonderful players. Say good evening, players.
Oh, we're turning
Good
an Ivan.
evening.
That's not an Ivan. That's like an old butler, like a good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? We haven't been talking off stream at all.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Well, I would like to let you know, since we haven't talked yet, that I'm doing great.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I haven't seen you, and I know we haven't had the whole group here for like 3 or 4 weeks now, so it's nice for everyone to be back together. That's a weird ongoing joke that is both stupid and dumb. So let's
Only because you're the only one bringing it up every
I
time.
know, but I
But
think it's
basically,
funny,
yeah.
and it's funny only to me, and I'm a selfish person, so sometimes I do things, I subject those around me to personal jokes. Guys, we were just talking about like logic puzzles off stream. We were
It's Star Trek. Don't
gonna
forget.
be honest,
Star Trek.
guys. We were also talking about some stuff that could happen in the game today, because I was discussing where things left off in our previous session, and how we left with someone about to open a book onto the H's to see what was going on with this Dr. Eustace Houston. And I think Lord Reginald was pointing out that that's probably because I didn't have that written yet. And I then was suggesting it would be really funny to open today's game with, before you can even get it open, there's a scream like somewhere, and now you have to go investigate another murder rather
I
than.
hate those type of cliffhangers where you're about to find out what happened with the cliffhanger, and then nope, you don't get to happen.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually know what's there in the book, but that's really funny to me. So I might have to roll for that as like a 50-50 shot at the time when it comes. But first we have to spend... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I said, are you also going to roll for the random move that you kill off to justify the screen? Or
Oh shoot, that's right. This is a carefully machined thing, and I can't just throw in a murder now.
It's just Joey stubbing his toe. It's not really a murder.
Yeah, there's a scream, but it turns out that there's nothing really.
It's
Do you
that,
guys
it's
think
that scene
I-
from The Simpsons where Ned Flanders is screaming, and it's like, oh, the drapes or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think I had
practicing your
plans for like
You
other
always-
murders?
I
course
don't know.
not.
You always have
You
plans for
had
everything.
you had a backup murder in your pocket.
Yep,
What are you
in
talking
your back
about?
pocket.
in case
Yeah.
the murder of
I apologize.
the Marcus and
Hold
the
on.
other guy just wasn't enough to get us going.
That is
Yeah.
probably a thing. All right. I think I need to do some changes to some stuff, because I think some. Okay. Does that sound better to anyone in chat? I don't know if things sounded bad, but to you guys it would in Zoom, but out there on Twitch, I think there might have been an echo there at the beginning. If not, never mind. But I put my headphones in, and the sound was still coming out of the speakers of my computer, so you might have heard like an echo, because you were picking up everyone's voice on my mic, and echo is gone. Thank you. Very, very sorry about that. So sound is good now. No one said sound was bad, I'd like to point out. I just was like, you guys sound too loud. This is weird. Okay, cool. Perfect. Echo's gone. Love it. So my computer's weird, but enough about my weird computer. Let's talk about this weird game. The major revelation of last week, after you, you sort of, you didn't really search any new rooms, although you did kind of look over that statue under the bed. You found some kind of like amorphous, inky print on it, which means somebody who had ink on their hands was probably handling it. with some very intense, like, deductive stuff, you figured that the inky prints were probably made by a smaller hand, and also that whoever did it was not the person who had done the practice invitations for you all. Now, that last point, I will say, is kind of just like there were so many levels of success on things, I kind of gave that to you, but, like, that's not something you could, like, none of you are fingerprint experts. It's not admissible in court. You don't think they look like the same sort of size and stuff, so you'd have to, like, that's more of just like a good working assumption, not a strong legal evidence or anything. You also, I know Sybil kind of shared a little bit of sort of what had brought her here. She told this to Ivan. She told this to Reginald. Ivan, of course, had already disclosed sort of his connections to things to Sybil. Ivan, a.k.a. John. I think to everyone in this group, you are now just going by John. Is that correct, Ivan?
No.
No. To the Baroness, you're still Ivan?
And the Baroness still.
Hey, Gewalt. Okay, okay, perfect. And you prefer it? You're like, I'd rather he just be Ivan.
It's still weird to recognize that.
So you guys then sort of, you went back down to the library, you brought Sybil with you. The Baroness also got some more information about Severin, and she shared this with everybody. Severin had been the, fiance of the second eldest daughter, Vivian, and he died on their wedding day, kind of under mysterious circumstances, with the Baroness, after having then talked to the doctor, really thinks was probably some kind of poison, some exotic poison that done him in. When you went down to the library, you found Vivian. You found Ivan at that point, all of the information on Ben Caesar. You then read about it. Ben Caesar being someone, yet another thing you were like, oh, right, maybe this is relevant. You, but Ben Caesar actually had some, like, connections to Sybil, and you sort of asked her to speak to you quietly first across from the library in the sitting room. Sharing that information that Odette was actually offended, though she did point to a picture. At this point, you saw this picture, which revealed that her father, Theobald Fuller, is actually very, very familiar in appearance to Lord Joey, her uncle? Even though they're the same age, this led to a lot of sort of thinking and theorizing about what this meant. But the other major sort of intel revelation was that the doctor and the Baroness spoke to Vivian. She did reveal that her mother had made an allusion to her own personal doctor, who like was her doctor for decades and decades, and how he had died recently, Dr. Eustace Houston, who was an expert in something called twilight sleep. He basically would put people to sleep and sort of like put them in this basically mothers as they were delivering, put them into this strange kind of quasi-amnesiac sort of not much pain, but you don't form memories, and you're very suggestible, odd state, and that was done for all of the Marchioness's children, as well as Odette. All of them, every child that the Marchioness bore, and Alicia's child, were done under the Twilight Sleep.
Which means the only one who has never had Twilight Sleep was Vivian, who was never married and never had a child.
And Gladys never had a child either. But when Vivian was born, her mother was in a state of Twilight Sleep. When Gladys was born, her mother was in a state of Twilight Sleep. When both Odette and Joey were born, their respective mothers were in a state of Twilight Sleep. All of this then sort of led to some curiosities about the resemblance that Joey bore. It turned out that everyone, assuming that Joey was the child of Slicket, was a fully unintentional red herring based solely on casting. An actor with lightish hair had been cast, and everyone was like, "That's the real dad." And in fact, he was not the real dad. But so in any case, it was a sort of a rather complicated situation, because you all began theorizing what is the mystery of these youths, and you seem to have landed on the idea that perhaps the children were swapped based on their genders, that in order to grant to Lord Corus a son, when his wife in late December of 1919 had yet another daughter, he sort of had her kept in a twilight sleep state for several days, if not weeks, until Alicia had a child. And then, since that was a boy, they were actually switched. Then the law changed anyway, and it kind of didn't matter, is a big part of the weirdness of this.
16 years later.
Yes, yes. So, that is something that you all sort of were thinking about and wondering.
Now the trail is, what does he know about Houston?
Well, you also did look up this Fuller character, and there was not really an entry on Theobald Fuller, it seems, and that kind of is... That's sort of consistent with what Lord Reginald had heard. I am seeing in chat, sorry, everybody else is quiet. I'm so sorry, guys. Give me just 1 second to try and... Okay. Interesting. Hold on. Okay, everybody talk for me for a second. All at once is fine. How is that Twitch chat? How is that Sophia? Do they sound a little better? Nope. Oh shoot, you guys aren't even coming up. Oh brother. Okay, hold on. I did not mute you, but
input is it using her?
okay, guys, say something.
Something.
Say
Something.
something.
Are they still muffled?
We're all smartasses, huh?
Yeah, we
I was
are.
expecting
No,
someone to
actually,
start
we are all
singing
dumbasses.
something. He's
Yeah.
a mod.
I'm not, I'm a dumbass.
You can hear music now. Is this better?
I hear no music.
I'm
That's
talking.
because it's only on the stream.
I'm talking to the people on
Switch
the stream.
computers or
Yeah.
something?
Nope. This is better. You can hear them.
There we
Great. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. There's some I am on a Macintosh, which means I use this thing called I have to use this multi-output device nonsense. And it's really stupid. And sometimes I was trying to you can hear everyone now. Perfect. Okay, great.
Yay!
So
Yeah, Macintoshes, machines for professionals and creators, huh?
oh my gosh.
Oh,
Well,
shut up.
it's funny because
Shut up.
That's what they're advertised as.
they are.
Oh yeah, that's
literally
right. You
the
use Mac. I'm being mean.
And what's so funny about it is that Streamlabs is basically set up to take your desktop audio very intelligibly. It'll be like, cool, just whatever's on the desktop, we'll use that. Macs can't export that natively. I have to download all these weird drivers and set up all these virtual desktop sound capture things in order to just do that simple thing to get the sound of you guys as Zoom. But sounds like we're okay now. So there's really nothing left to do but roll a dice and see whether or not there's a scream. Is scream even or odd?
Even.
Oh, we're actually doing it.
Can we just?
We're not. Are we not?
Can
Are we
we-
gonna do this?
Can we collectively ignore it?
You don't.
We can.
You absolutely don't have to chase after the scream. So,
You can only solve 2 murders at a time. A third one is just over quota.
is a
And we're not being paid for this.
You're really not. All right, so evens, there's a scream. I think a scream is something odd. So we're going to say that scream is on an odd, and even means nothing.
Yeah.
So, Lord Reginald, as you open up the binder to the H's,
It's you're disappointed. It's even.
you hear a scream.
You son of a.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
You
Ah!
son of a.
I made a face that didn't look like my
You
face.
baby switch.
So, with that, you do in fact hear a scream.
Can we tell who it is?
Is it a male scream or a female scream?
It is in fact a male scream.
Can we tell which direction?
Oh,
It is coming. I mean, you guys are in the sitting room, so it just sounds like it's from not in this room. Also, you did close the door, so it's a bit muffled. But you hear a man shouting. It sounds kind of like Lord Joey, in fact.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm
Oh,
sure
then
he's
he's-
fine.
then he's
I'm sure
alive.
he's
He's
fine.
not-
Sybil would go check.
I would go check. I'm a doctor.
Understood.
You son of a. You son.
I'm good.
One time in Provinia when I was calling a result and I said exactly this number, and that hit exactly that number.
It did. That
great.
was really.
Maybe stop calling things ahead of time.
So
That's why I specifically didn't call this
Um,
one because I knew that.
But you were thinking of one, weren't you?
I was thinking of one that I said.
Once a divination wizard, always a divination.
as you guys step out, to check on the sort of situation here, you open the door and you do see actually that like Vivian is kind of like walking out of the library, also, kind of looking concerned. The scream seems to be echoing, sort of like through the house, but it does not seem to be necessarily coming from above you.
So let's see. Last known location of Joey.
I'm still looking, by the way.
Oh,
I
you're
still
just looking. So as Reginald stays to look, the doctor and Sybil leave. Is
Isn't that-
anybody else staying
Isn't
with
that your
Reginald?
friend, man? Isn't that your friend, man?
I mean, I don't.
Just being dramatic.
I don't hear shit.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I hear it, but I
You're
can't
too-
tell it's Joey. I can't
You're
tell it's Joey.
too engrossed in a book
Yeah,
for once.
that was a one,
Oh,
by the way.
you know what?
I'm going with them.
I'm taking that back. Actually, as you step out of the sitting room, you do not see Vivian.
Oh, no Vivian. Okay.
You don't see Vivian walking out of the library. The doors to the library are open, but she is not walking out in confusion based on factors that may be giving some things away. But you've heard this sort of loud screaming sound as Sybil, Dr. Gordon, and Ivan John sort of walk out looking for what's going on. Lord Reginald, we will actually be following them first. So where would you all like to go?
Are there any open doors, such as to the dining room or ballroom from the hall?
The doors to both the dining room and the ballroom are open.
Okay. I guess I'll move quick glance between both of them before proceeding upstairs. How about the one towards the back hall? Is that open?
The one to the back hall is closed. As you sort of walk towards the dining hall, though, you begin to hear more noise coming from both the dining hall and the kitchen.
All right, let's go in that direction. Are you coming, Miss Wilson?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. You sort of walk back, and you actually see that Vivian is sort of standing in the dining room, like looking into the kitchen, like, oh my, looking sort of like upset, and she sort of turns and begins like gesturing for you, Doctor, and you hear there's like a clamor in there. In the kitchen, Joey is actually like on the ground, like kind of convulsing pretty seriously. There is a bottle of like brandy is next to him, sort of like splashed on the ground, and there's like a broken glass next to him, and he's like just like kind of like trying to shout, but now it's like getting hard for him to even make any noise.
All right. Normal medical procedures to handle, look him over, see what he needs, poisoned or whatnot.
Go ahead and make a medical
knowledge.
Make a medical knowledge roll. It's fine.
All right, there we go. 9 and 5, double success. Hey.
There you go. An aha point for you. And everybody else, make sure you reset your aha points to 3. Joey is having serious trouble breathing, and his like, it seems like his heart is like beating very quickly. You're concerned about you're concerned about some like poisoning effect is inducing severe like increase in blood pressure and kind of like he's not getting enough oxygen to the brain. Not that he ever got much, but he's
So
Wow.
I'm not a doctor myself, so I'm gonna use what my character knows to handle this any sort of poisoning with difficulty of breathing.
This is during the time. This is before it was like generally like before we knew that cigarettes were bad, right?
It is before you knew cigarettes were bad. Yes.
Well, long-term bad, because didn't they back then during this time use clove cigarettes to help with asthma? Like, because initially it does kind of open up the lungs, and then it's just the long-term effects are what really fuck you up. But, like,
Oh man, is that true? Man, that sucks.
How about
I think I saw.
Yeah.
Maybe they would give.
For the past 1920s.
How
Well-
about smelling salts? Smelling salts would work for this?
Well, no, yeah,
Well,
I
that's
don't think
only
you can
for
breathe right
thinking.
now.
yeah. It's not about waking up.
He's in a really bad sort of state though here, Doctor. So you believe that he is having some kind of
Heart attack?
like it may he also is here's the other thing that's happening. He's having the muscle convulsions. So you do believe that he has probably ingested something that is fatal.
Oh no.
My bag is it on my person? I don't think it's on my person.
No, you'd have to run up and get your bag.
I'm pretty fast. I can probably get it for you if your room's not locked or anything.
It's not. Please, Miss Wilson, go to my room to fetch my bag.
Go ahead and make a run
Okay.
roll.
And since it's a specialty, I go twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two dice.
2 dice, name them twice.
A 6 and a
Can I go with her?
5.
Nice.
Can I go with her?
Are you good at running?
I am.
Make
ready to go
actually
with
make a
her.
physical roll. That's fair. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can can run up
Yeah,
with her.
you did go with us, or were you with?
He went with them.
Oh, okay.
11.
So you sort of with your weird long legs and spidery gait, you're able to run upstairs. We'll assume that the good doctor, like shouted out. You're in Ares, right, Doc?
Yes, I'm.
So kind of he was able to say like just at the top of the stairs. He's only 1 floor, not 2 up like you are. So you're able to run to his room. You can open the door.
If that's the wait, Ivan, are you coming with me?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to tell you to wait at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
We're doing passing strategy.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't break anything.
Don't drop it. Don't drop my medical bag.
Please.
Oh. I juggle stuff on the regular.
All right.
I
I'm
juggle medical
quick, and
bags all
his
the
job
time.
is to be like, useful. So
Yeah.
Okay. Circus clown. You're not a circus clown.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna wait
Sybil-
like halfway
so
up
Sybil-
the stairs.
Sybil, I'm as he's kind of halfway up the stairs. Sybil, you are now on your own, so I'm going to text you a couple things real quick.
okay, while you do that, throughout the late 19th century and early 20th centuries, the inhalation of fumes from burning preparations of shit I can't say became increasingly popular among asthmatics and their physicians throughout the world. And it's like all shit that's in clove cigarettes.
Oh man. Oh, shit, you can't say it because there are just too many letters in the word.
Because I don't know what I'm reading.
It's the
Stramonium.
actual chemicals.
Yeah.
I thought it was because, oh no, this is really bad.
Yeah, it's not
but
redacted.
Demonetized quick.
It's not
Like,
redacted.
oh no,
it's
I
not
just can't
redacted,
pronounce the damn words.
I'm not, yeah.
Okay,
So-
what if Baroness putters up at last and asks that would nitroglycerin be help?
Wait, did you go with them?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Reginald's
eventually,
alone
I-
actually.
Reginald's the only one
Okay.
still in the room
We all
reading.
ran out and he's like, cool book.
He was too engrossed
Everybody
in the
ran
water.
off, and after that, I just went after them. Especially when
I rolled a
Sigurd
1.
started
All
running.
right, so I'm just like, okay, sure.
I'm Lord Reginald, and I'm going to privately tell you what you find from the book, and you can tell the others if you ever choose to.
Okay.
That
That page is gonna go missing.
Sybil, I have sent you some information. If you could reply to that, as a text, or did that not go through?
Nitroglycerin? Would
Did
that
you send me
help
anything? I
us?
don't have anything.
I believe I
Did
texted you.
Send it to the right person.
I definitely texted you. No, hasn't gone through.
Because the Baroness has those little pills.
Wait, you have nitroglycerin pills?
Yeah, actually, I took one once before.
Wait, do you ingest nitroglycerin? I don't know about it from explosives.
Under the tongue is sublingual.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it could be a ghost. That's true.
I was thinking, why are you just carrying around explosives, Baroness? Unless you're the G.I. Joe Baroness.
It's a medication, and it first came into
Oh, no, you
use
mean the
in
actual Baroness.
It's been used since 1878. I've googled it before.
Okay, I'm sure of that, but it's like that's my first thought when
Okay.
heard someone talk about nitroglycerin. Like,
Sybil, I'm sending you something in Zoom chat.
Okay.
Because if you're not getting the text, that's
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong.
I'm very sorry.
I'm sure my phone is just a piece of shit.
But as far as the nitroglycerin, is the question. You have those pills on you, Baroness?
Of course I do. It's a little silver case.
Make a luck roll then.
All right. Luck is a 6, right? Or is it an 8?
It's whatever it is for your character. It
8.
varies. An 8. Great.
Ooh, I rolled a 5.
5. Wonderful. As it happens, you do have some little, nitroglycerin. Make another medical knowledge roll there, Doc.
okay. Medical knowledge. Oop. 8 and 12, another one. Hey, free real estate.
Gotta love that stuff. I'm going to look up a thing here. Sorry, guys. This scream in a thing is I may be taking some stuff that was in a thing, but it's in a different context now. So,
You're looking up nitroglycerin, huh? And
I mean,
trying to do it
maybe.
in a way that FBI won't flag you.
Why
Why is this guy looking up nitroglycerin?
okay. They'll be fine with this.
Once I read it, I'll start walking out just to see where everyone went.
Understood. You certainly hear a lot of like shouts and things about this. Okay. Doctor, you know that nitroglycerin can actually, yes, totally can work for sort of like heart situations like this. You're not sure that it will do the trick with this. You would probably like, oof. It's a rough.
I mean,
You would.
me, the player, doesn't know how a
Yeah.
medical professional would handle this, so
I'm
I'll
going
just
to
act
say
however
though.
my doctor senses would dictate be the next best course of action.
I'll tell you what,
Doctor
Dr.
senses
Tingle?
are tingling.
Doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Tingle.
Well, I can see this guy tingling right here, so he needs help.
I'm gonna tell
You
you
can
what,
see his
Doc.
tingles.
Oh.
Doing more than tingling.
Doc, I'm gonna tell you what.
Okay.
Make for me. Ah, perfect. I never thought of this part of this though. Okay, do me a favor, Doc, and make a luck
Okay.
roll.
A luck roll? Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't rely on luck.
I make my
I
own
rolled a
luck.
2. But I just got 2 free AHA points.
You
so
did.
might as well-
That is
So
true.
yeah, I'll use 3 AHA points and remain with 2.
Okay.
So yeah. So what's luck? What luck do I have?
Okay. I'm going to tell you your luck in secret here in Twitch chat.
Okay.
And I know
Twitch
that
chat? You're doing
Twitch
it in
chat?
secret?
not Twitch chat, sorry, Zoom chat.
Zoom chat.
Ay,
Okay.
ay,
Yeah.
ay.
What a
yeah,
shitty
yeah.
secret.
Now I'm
Tell
worried.
them in secret.
Now I'm worried that like my
Players
my
don't
text
read
don't
Twitch
work.
chat, okay?
By the way, the Baroness used the nitroglycerin when she fainted, or almost fainted.
Oh,
and
understood.
Ivan caught her.
Perfect. So you do have that.
Just
So
the
you're
time.
so basically she's offering this to you.
Okay.
All right. There is a message has been sent privately to you in Zoom chat. Guys, I'm playing with fire these Zoom chats. Whew, people get secret stuff for everybody. I'm now Zoom chatting someone else who just did
I'm
something.
waiting for you to mess up something. Then it can happen.
Accidentally
come on,
reveal
Phil,
the
you
murderer
can
to
do
one of
it.
us. Okay. Understood. All right. So yeah, I'm waiting for Miss Wilson and Mr. Immortal to hand me my stuff. I'm last name basis type of fellow here, and I don't know. His last name to me is just Immortal.
Understood. All right, Mr. Immortal. So, as
Ivan T. Immortal.
here we go.
Maybe Ivan D. Immortal.
As
You're D.
you sort of are kind of so basically Ivan, as you're sort of like looking back to the thing, you see Sybil coming down the stairs. Sybil, you've got you're running with the bag.
I would drop it to Ivan, because it falling down would be faster than me going down the stairs, even if I am super fast.
You're dropping it to
It's just a bag,
right
right?
above
Just
him.
tossing it to him.
I don't
Ivan, go along.
I'm not sure that's the I don't know that
Yeah, doesn't it go up and then to the side?
since I see she's saying you're saying, Sybil, that rather than running back down the stairs, you're running along the hallway and you're gonna like drop it over a
Yeah.
banister.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Make a physical roll
Wait, her or him?
to
Both,
aim it.
probably.
Probably be both.
It's gonna be
at
both.
some point in time.
4, I'm using a point.
Okay, so you sort of drop it roughly to where he is. Ivan,
Also using a point because I rolled a 4.
understood.
Ah.
So basically, you're both gonna like, Ivan, you grab it, and Ivan, you do hear inside a lot of bottles just like jingling around.
Can I like try to like
Softly?
like, soften the fall?
You've rolled a 5. I'm just saying that upon catching it,
Okay.
you were like, kind of with all the like her running and throwing. There's a part of you that's like, not sure the saves any time. Okay, but then you're going to run.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So that being said, Doctor, you're sort of you're thinking of what you would maybe what you'd want to give the guy, but perhaps nitroglycerin would not be a bad thing. In the interim, if
If you can call him after, but right now he has bigger issues than just
so
the
basically,
hard thing. We need to handle a lot of things
yes,
right now.
basically as she at this point, Ivan rushes in with your bag.
All right, grab it off of Ivan and pull out my morphine, and he's thrashing about, so I'll need to restrain at least one of his arms to inject the morphine. So
You
Going
can
to
certainly
physicality, or-
direct people to assist you. By now, Lord Reginald has wandered over. He's witnessing this. He's seeing like, he's
what's
like,
going on here?
do you have the book with you, Reginald, or are you just walking into the?
No, I have the book.
Okay, yeah. So Reginald's like, oh, weird, but so people can
Dude,
sort of help.
dude, oh god.
And you are going to basically you're going to try to get his tachycardia, or tachycardia, and his hypertension and his basically he's breathing rapidly, heart's beating rapidly, muscles
Sure,
are
sure.
contracting.
Yes.
You're going to give him a dose of morphine to try
To
and
slow down the muscle spasms.
Yeah,
I've done
I'll tell you
so
what.
many morphine injections. I don't think I need to. Maybe
Yeah.
I think the check would be holding him down.
Yeah, well,
Baroness helps with that.
if Baroness is going to help with that, actually, Baroness, why don't you give me a knowledge roll for this part? It's a D8 for you.
Okay. Oh, 7.
Perfect. So as you sort of, so basically, you're having people hold down, but like the Baroness gets down and begins like rolling up. Doctor, would you actually make an intuition roll for me?
Okay. That's my weakest one, but I rolled a 3. I have 2 points, but nah, I'll save them.
You'll save them.
Nah.
So nothing about that strikes you as anything. All good. And with that, you provide the guy a
I'm
dose
not
of
gonna look any
morphine.
gift horses in the mouth, mouth when I'm saving a life.
There is a you have to do the thing where you like I think, since you don't have like a full IV kit here, you probably are doing like the like tying off a thing and giving the injection and releasing it.
I know how to make tourniquets.
Yeah,
I
so
have to
you're
use a lot.
Yeah, so you do that, and sure enough, like as you kind of like release the thing and the blood begins kind of flowing through, there's this moment in which there is a mild relaxing. He's probably in bad shape, but Joey is alive thanks to your quick.
Good job, Doctor.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your help, Baroness.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Did she actually? She held down Joey while he was spasming, right?
Not
Does that
so
take some
much.
physicality?
Not so much held down, but the point is, whatever insights you had into it, you were too
Right,
busy on
right.
the stuff, so
I was
you
too
did not
busy-
roll
okay,
for
okay.
those. Yes.
I did not notice a lot of stuff from her. Okay.
At this point, however, Sybil and Reginald and Ivan are also in the room. Vivian is there.
When I went upstairs, did I, not necessarily specifically in the doctor's room or anything, but did I notice anyone up there, like curious about the commotion or anything? No?
No, but I guess that probably Gladys would have been coming downstairs after you, sort of like at some distance. And honestly, by the time this is going on, no one else has come down. So at this point, I guess the Marchioness, Alicia, and Odette are not accounted for.
I guess when it was, though he shouted and we were able to hear him, we didn't actually hear him quite well. So I suppose people on the upper level heard even less. Something like that.
I think that's a reasonable assumption. Also, there were your door was closed and you guys barely heard it, and really you only heard it so that I could have a take you away from the H's.
Yeah,
so
of course.
So there's some degree of yes, probably people upstairs heard even less, but now there's been enough commotion that maybe some are coming. But Odette, Alicia, and the Marchioness are not downstairs, but now Gladys has come down and she's what's happened? Was he attacked?
Just from a quick check while I was restraining him, he had no external wounds, right? It looked all to be poisoning from the brandy.
He looked like he was drinking some kind of poison.
I'll say, no one ingest this brandy. It is
But was not planning on
tampered
it.
with.
Can I look around to see if the brandy was the only thing there?
Well-
or was there something else, like food or something that we might?
You don't see any
Actually,
food.
brandy.
You do see no food next to him. You do, however, see that the sort of brandy bottle, the label has been removed from it.
Is it the same? When we had lunch, there was a bunch of liquor out. Is it the same?
This
bottle
looks
that
like
was out?
this looks like an older, dustier bottle.
It's one of those things when the servants just put I don't know, weed killer into an old bottle and keep it under the sink or something. Like
I'll-
Widow Country has is everything is
Well,
poison.
The thing is about that, you would probably vomit first before
Yeah.
it actually does that sort of thing.
that if it was a weed killer, Doctor, why don't you give me another medical knowledge roll?
Sure.
Um,
Let me make medical knowledge and get some aha points here. Oh, that's only a 1 and a 7. So still successful, but
a
no free
success,
aha
but no
points.
free aha points.
Damn it.
So Doc, based on the, based on what he was just like exhibiting, and especially based on like the way his like he was like screaming and his like jaw was tightening the muscles like that, you
Do I know of any like military grade poisons, espionage grade poisons that would do this sort of thing? I'm only a
Arsenic,
soldier, so I'm not really a
Red,
spy.
red,
I
red
wouldn't know.
poison, arsenic.
it's probably not anything that it's probably nothing that exotic, but certainly one that is used a lot. You think that this is probably strychnine.
Strychnine.
Yes.
What was the name of the thing that they gave to the women when they gave birth?
Excellent question,
Twilight sleep.
Sybil. When they do twilight sleep, they give them a cocktail of drugs, including but not limited to morphine,
Morphine.
scopolamine. They also do. Those are the two main components. You also, based on what you've heard of it, I think you've heard them say those. You haven't heard any other. You haven't heard them mention any other ones.
Red poison.
But strychnine is often used.
Used as birds. and
Yes,
rats.
strychnine.
Yeah, rodents.
Yeah, often used as a
Yeah.
sort of poison.
I think she was a popular Star Trek character, Strick of 9.
That was
Strick,
bad.
That was terrible.
Strick of 9. Oh my lord. So
Anyway, so if Joey has stabilized for the moment, or excuse me, Lord Joseph, of course, the younger, has stabilized, then we should probably put him in like some more comfortable place. Like the nearest one is probably the sitting room.
sitting room or
Those are
library will have large couches you could put him on.
Okay,
certainly.
so then library, that's right there. So
Yeah,
let's
it's
move
even
him to library so he can
perfect.
relax and breathe.
All right.
And then we can discuss these current events, and hopefully Reginald can fill us in. I mean, Lord Reginald Huntington Smythe.
I'm sorry, what?
Fill us in on what you've learned in the meantime.
Is now really the appropriate time, though?
Well, I said once we stabilize Joey here and get him comfortable, then we can talk about other things.
Okay, yeah. That's...
Perfect. So as you guys move Joey to the library, no problem. Doctor, you
Didn't
think
you put him to bed?
I think Doctor doesn't want to carry him upstairs. Is that correct, Dr. Gordon?
That, amongst other reasons, yes, I want to just get someone as comfortable as possible.
Understood. Gotcha. Okay. Beautiful. The bottle is a brandy bottle, but like the label seems to have been picked off. It does not, to your question earlier, Baroness, seem like something that is like used for. I mean, maybe someone would keep weed killer, but it is clearly like a brandy bottle, but like the label was sort of like picked or flaked off. It also is very, very dusty, as was mentioned.
Maybe we should secure this bottle.
Yes, keep it safe. Keep it out of everyone's hands. Is there any remaining of this probably tainted brandy within there?
Oh yeah, it's the bottle's mostly full.
Okay, let's sequester that somewhere. I suppose.
I would even
Maybe
say-
in the basement where the dead bodies are, nobody's gonna go there. Unless you have a better idea.
I don't, but it's just like I really just can't carry around a bottle of brandy with poison in there just
Yeah.
to have no one ask questions about. Yeah, I guess it's as good a place as any. I suppose.
It strikes you as like a very old bottle. I guess I'll phrase it like that. It seems like
Oh, so if it's very old, it was probably stored in the cellar in the first place.
might have been
Very
stored.
dusty.
Let's ask Norman if he knows anything about
He would
this
probably,
bottle.
yeah, he probably would. Well, okay, so I think what we have 2 lines of questioning here. Should we follow a thread on Joey and find out what the heck could have happened here?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Reginald. Well,
Good,
100%
Reginald is
smile.
still looking for something.
okay.
You should.
No.
Therefore- So, well, we can inquire about the poisoned bottle, or we can inquire about Joey's doings and goings during the time before he got poisoned.
Why not
If
both?
we want to do that. Well, do we want to split the party in order to do that? I mean, it's not like we can get eaten by a Terrasse d'Avignon in this
I
sort of
mean,
game.
We're not at a time
Yeah.
crunch. It's fine.
Yeah, we are a large party, plenty to split.
I mean, it would be easier if we all just heard the information and
Okay,
then not
I
have to hear
guess.
it and then tell
I
it
guess,
and then
sure.
retell it and then retell the other information.
Sure. All right. All right. So, I guess we should resolve. Well, first off, Joey, Lord Joseph is in a good state, right? Just resting, breathing normally. No signs of.
No, he's not in a good. We will say that you have stabilized him. He's. This is going to be rough on him, but
He is not currently dying, as far as I'm aware.
I'll phrase it like this: had you guys not run in there and done what you did with the successes you had, he would have died.
Whew, boy.
Yeah, you by taking immediate action. I will say I don't know that the drop down. I don't know that saved any time, but
It absolutely did.
understood. Extra credit.
The Wilson believes it does, and that's all that
It looked
matters.
cool though, so
Anyway,
Style
so
point.
It did
Okay.
look cool. There was like yeah. The shot in the movie of it was very cool.
okay.
I
Unnecessary.
can totally see it.
So then, okay, as long as he's not currently dying at the moment, I guess first off, before we go running off, I'd like to ask Vivian if she heard anything before Lord Joseph went into these convulsions. She was just in the library, right?
I did not hear anything specifically related to this, but No, I heard nothing. I simply heard him calling out and a glass breaking. And by the time I came back here, you all had rushed here as well. And then he was seizing on the floor.
Oh. Well, that's fine. Well, I'm sure you're glad that your brother is alive now.
Yes, of course.
I sort of want to read her emotions if she was, read her intent, see if she.
Go ahead, make
understood
it. Yeah, you can make
fine.
an intuition roll on that for sure.
5 and 3, so 5 is the successful one. Well, I was trying to see if she reacted to me calling him her brother. See if
She
knew.
made no odd response to that.
Okay.
She was she seemed to find that perfectly
natural because of course he's her brother. Well,
yeah.
Of course.
But she seems, and understandably so, she seems worried now. She seems that there is a fear of
I mean,
you know,
I'm
there
sure-
had been a few hours here of feeling like, okay, so some murders happened last night, but now with this, she suddenly feels that perhaps things are no longer
reminding
safe.
that this is a murder mystery and people
Yes.
are being murdered.
Are
Exactly.
we back in the sitting room?
I think at this point you're all kind of in the library where you're
Library?
sort of getting Joey settled.
Okay.
I like to ring for Norman.
Norman is kind of with you.
Oh,
Okay.
he's arrived now. Okay.
Yes, he's. Oh yeah, you kind of called for him. He sort of has come to see about this. I think Gladys, however, is walking away at this point. And she is sort of going to say she's going to go try to find Alicia and go tell her mother what just happened.
Sure. I do want to quickly ask if I see her.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything about Lord Joseph's problem, Miss? She's Gladys.
Gladys Martin.
What?
Martin. Yes.
So Gladys will say, what do you mean to hear?
Mrs. Martin.
What problem
Alright.
did he have?
Oh. He was having a medical emergency. It seemed like he was
I heard people
ingested some poison.
running around upstairs, and so I came down the floor and followed sort of Sybil and Ivan as they rushed in. He's ingested a poison. Was it intentional?
I cannot tell. He was already convulsing by the time we found him.
I should go tell Alicia.
Yes.
She starts going
Please do.
upstairs.
Intentional. Does she think someone accidentally poisoned the brandy he was specifically drinking?
Maybe he's allergic.
It could have been
Could
intended
be.
for his
I mean,
father, which
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
Considering it's an old bottle, maybe it was
I
just
would have
sitting
fucking
there.
poisoned that dude.
I mean, yeah.
At this point, Norman comes in.
I
And he
mean,
will
me
say-
and Joey just kind of pick up any bottle and drink it. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
Don't really check.
Yes, sir. Is Lord Joseph all right? I suppose
Thanks to,
I should call him the Marquis.
yes. Thanks to the wonders of modern medicine, he has been saved.
I'm very glad
you, Doctor.
to hear that. What can I do for you all?
I'm afraid that he was poisoned by. Oh, I point to the. You're holding the brandy, right, Baroness?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is this bottle familiar to you?
Oh, yes. This is a very old bottle of brandy from the late Lord Corse's private collection.
Oh.
Yes.
Was just only for him? Nobody else?
He did, in fact. This was from a small collection of extremely valuable liquors that he had downstairs, yes, in the cellars.
And he never shared that collection with
These-
the rest of his
His
family?
private collection.
These he
but-
did not share.
Oh, interesting.
I see. Okay, I see. I think I see where he was going with this. Oh, I see. So,
Somebody was poisoned it, just waiting for him to drink it?
He will.
alternatively, Lord Corse poisoned that to poison someone else when he wasn't going to invite them to a
Oh.
party.
The
also-
issue is that there are a lot of shitty people in this
Yes,
house.
yes,
It
that's-
has
that's-
to be narrowed down.
I poison all my finest brandy, so if I die, they drink it and they all die. No, twisted, I think.
Lord Corse is dead. Let's drink using his private collection.
You just mix the antidote in whenever you actually want to. use it.
Oh
Like,
no. Now that would be a plot twist. That would be really cool. But
No,
anyway.
that was Princess Bride.
Oh yeah, the
I
Arcane
don't need
powder.
an antidote. I have a resistance.
Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, Norman speaking. That was a part of the private collection. I'll say. Did anyone see Lord Joseph, the current Marquess, go inside into the cellar and retrieve this at all?
If you're sort of asking like Norman to sort of
Norman.
check,
He'll probably say no.
Wednesday Line will say.
Oh, she was there.
Wednesday Line will just kind of appear and say, Doctor,
What the- were you behind me the whole time?
I did not notice Lord Joey going down. He'd been outside looking at the rain. But I did notice him coming up from the cellars. Once I'd come back in.
Oh.
I
Was
proceeded
he
on.
carrying a bottle when he was coming up?
Yes, Mum, he was. And as I was walking out of the room, that's when I heard him sort of shouting and the glass breaking.
It's currently like 1 or 2 p.m., right?
It's probably more like 3 or 4 at this point. It's
Four.
you guys have already had a late lunch and then more things
Nice
happened.
late afternoon brandy, huh? Well, I guess a stressful time. Makes sense. So, anyway. Okay. So he probably got that bottle of poison and accidentally poisoned himself. That's a viable possibility.
Somebody was playing the long poisoning game.
Potentially. So brandy was poisoned. He went to the cellar, fetched just any random bottle of brandy.
No, this is not any bottle. This would have been Lord Corse's most prized bottle.
Most prized bottle, you say? How prized? I mean, what do you mean by most prized? Did you make a point about it or something? Mention it often, or?
Oh, yes, it was a favorite of his, and this is a very, very old bottle. From the early 1870s. The 72, in fact.
He has then served it with guests before, right?
Oh, no, not this bottle, but a personal favorite of his. He was always partial to the Pastis d'Avignon.
Avignon keeps coming back. It's called the Pastis d'Avignon.
Pastis, this brand is specifically, Le Grand, I don't know why I do all this French stuff. Just, it's Grand Pastis d'Avignon. We'll go with that.
Okay, it's the Grand Pastis.
Pastis, which is technically not a brandy, but it's kind of close enough. It's more of like an aperitif.
Sure. Okay, that's just the name of the brandy. So that's just something. Oh, Lord Corse partook of this drink very often then. Not very often, but often enough.
He claimed it was one of the most finely constructed liqueurs there ever been. It was very expensive, but not particularly popular.
Okay.
But
okay, I see.
Lord Corse always had a unusual palate.
I suppose his family would know his tastes then, right? And I guess Lord Joseph wanted to partake in the same.
I cannot.
All right.
I cannot speak to what was in his mind, but yes, I would assume.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Norman. We can ask him anything else. See if anyone saw Joe go inside the cellar, which is we found out. Anything else we wanted to know that servants saw?
Wait,
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Thank you, Norman.
He goes away like a servant.
Oh, Norman, make sure that nobody touches those bottles of brandy down there. Alright.
Of course.
Have some footmen secure it.
I will ask them to do so.
All right. So that sort of tracks with my theory of, since this was known to be Lord Corse's favorite bottle, this was an assassination. This was a attempted poisoning of Lord Corse, the senior, the former. Yeah, the former monk. Yes, you can say that, Mr. Immortal.
I'm sorry. The shittier.
Yes.
At this point, you hear a larger clamor as the Marchioness, Alicia, and Odette are all coming down. Everyone's in the library. A lot of binders on the ground, except for F through K, which Lord Reginald's still carrying. But the whole family is down here gathering around Joey, being very concerned. Odette is hanging back, however. She's, like, at the back of the group, just, like, looking very, like, nervous or sort of, like, on edge.
This is when Miss Marple would stand, step forward and tell.
Well, while they're all here, I sort of want to. No one's missing, right? None of the women are missing.
Well, Gladys is in here, right?
Gladys brought them, so now everyone is here.
I just want to do a quick check on all of the women's faces to see if anyone is
not surprised.
Either not surprised or sort of had the hint of disappointment of, man, I wish he had bought it.
No,
that sort of look.
Somebody who's horrified because.
I mean, if it was intended for the old one, even if they put it in, if they wanted to kill Joey, they would have put it in a different bottle.
Yeah,
they would probably all look surprised.
They would be surprised, but I figured some of them, if they wanted Joey dead, they'd be sort of like, oh, that's a surprise, but man, I wish he'd actually passed away. That would have been nice. You know that sort of feeling, right?
No, I don't know that feeling. I'm afraid.
No, I don't.
I don't have personal experience with that.
You don't play as much Crusader Kings as I do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my rival decided to enter the dungeons and die. Huh, nice. Glad that happened.
I'm glad I laid this trap out.
After he does that, Sybil will talk to Odette.
Okay. After he does what? I'm sorry, I was replying to a message.
Checks their faces.
I'm doing a quick read on all the women, see if they're
great.
Mildly disappointed that Joey had survived, that sort of thing.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna have you do a roll on this. Everyone just seems everyone just seems like worried and concerned. There's definitely a sense of like what's going on, and there's definitely
seems
some
like something is unintentional for everyone as far as I can tell.
Something seems unintentional, and yet you notice that Gladys and Alicia is like going to Joey and like just like she's very close to him, and she's what did he drink? How did this, and as people are kind of like relating what has been sort of inferred by you guys and Norman, she's just, that's preposterous. Why would he drink such a thing? Odette is kind of like hanging back as Sybil's kind of moving to her. Go ahead and make an intuition roll, Doctor. You sure. No one sees anything other than mainly like surprise on anyone's face.
5.
5? I will say that Alicia is looking at Vivian and Gladys with a little bit of suspicion. A little bit of concern.
Okay. As I thought, there might be 2 factions at least running here in the Women of Course Court.
Yeah.
Huh.
So.
Interesting.
The Marchioness comes in, and it's like, oh no, this is beyond. Oh, my poor baby. She kind of is going to Joey, and she seems just real worried about him. And then she kind of just leans on Ivan.
Not even being
of course.
I know he was a bastard, but she moved on real quick.
Yeah.
I think she mentally checked out like 10 years ago.
Sure, I just like not even like an appearance of like for the kids, you know what I mean? Just like
and they're all adults.
Cold. Actually, it was cold because out in the rain for several hours, but
Sybil, Odette is kind of there in the sort of she's like in the doorway kind of looking just thing, and if you sort of step out, you can sort of walk off with her a couple of steps. She's
sure.
Is he going to be all right?
Did the doctor say he was going to be fine? He just needs rest.
I said I stabilized him. Whether I would have said whether he lives or not depends on his constitution from here on out. There's nothing more I can do.
All right. Well then, the doctor said he was stabilized. So whatever that means.
All right.
I'm still holding the photo, correct? That she kind of.
I don't think you ever got rid of it.
You couldn't have run upstairs and dropped a bag with it, so you dropped it somewhere.
Oh, that's true. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Honestly, when there was screaming, it's probably left in the.
It
was being passed around in the sitting room.
Yeah.
Probably in the sitting room
okay, that's fine. She will tell her, like, I believe I see what you're talking about, and in that photo, Odette, what do you know? Do you think that has anything to do with what's been happening this weekend and what's still happening now? More people could get hurt. I'm not saying you need to tell everyone what's going on, but maybe if we had more information, we could prevent someone else getting hurt.
I don't know, but I have suspicions, and I do not trust the woman who claims to be my mother.
Why not?
She is not a good or kind person. And yet I think she cares for me in some strange way. And yet I still fear crossing her. I'm worried that what happened to Joey? What did he do?
I think he just drank a bottle from Lord Corse's private stash that may have been poisoned prior. I'm not entirely sure. What are you?
I just don't know if she would kill her own son. If he is her son. She's... You don't know what she's capable of.
What is she capable of?
She kind of... A thunder rolls in the distance, and she just kind of, like, gestures around, kind of, at the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
No, you're not making that. No. We're stopping it right there. The second I heard those two words, I knew you were going to do something like that.
I guess my last question for Odette is, if something were to happen to Joey, what would Alicia or anyone even gain?
I don't know if you're asking about inheritance and such.
I'm asking about anything.
Although I suppose I'm not really, if I'm not really a fuller, my father, the man I believe is my father, or who I've been told is my father, he's very wealthy. I have little need of inheritance or positions. Neither does my mother, for that matter. I think this is about something else, and if perhaps the daughter is much like the father, perhaps Alicia takes after after the Marquis. Is Joey going to be okay? You don't know, I'm sorry.
He is stable.
She kind of, like, looks out the door. Curse this rain! I need to leave. I can't believe I came here. This was a mistake.
Maybe you should continue to rest. You did have a terrible accident when you arrived.
Oh yes, last night I was in a car crash. I forgot about that on account of everything that's happened since then over these many sessions. Yes.
Weekend for her.
Yeah. It's been a pretty rough.
You think you've had a bad weekend?
It's been a rough 16 hours here, guys. She will. Yeah, she will go. She will go upstairs at your suggestion. In the meantime, I will say, Doctor, you've checked on Joey. Gladys, Vivian, the Marchioness, and Alicia seem to be sort of gathered around him. If you have more questions for them, you could ask them. Otherwise, you guys could head back over to the sitting room in a, like, we'll let the family be together way, as you know. Oh, actually, wait, I'm gonna roll one thing.
After Odette, Sybil probably would have gone straight to the sitting room.
Okay, cool. Everyone else joins her there?
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
there.
I'll be there.
So then, you all go to the sitting room. Lord Reginald's still just carrying the binder. Do-do-do-do.
So, does anyone have any questions? Out of character, I'm asking, does anyone here have any questions for the family members present that they would like to?
Yeah, who fucking did all this?
Well, of course, that question would be the most pertinent one, but I don't think anyone's going to answer it. Sorry. My bad. I meant to
Catch him off
poison...
guard. Just ask him point blank and they'll answer.
I meant to poison my grandfather. It's not a crime. It's not a crime.
It absolutely is a crime.
It absolutely is.
It's like super duper a crime.
Yeah.
But someone else murdered him. I didn't even do anything bad. I didn't even get to
I
murder
mean, in
my
terms
grand-
of like specific questions, I can't think of one.
Okay. I mean, it would certainly be nice to ask. So, how many of you know that this guy's actually Alicia's son rather than his brother? But I'm not sure.
Okay,
Just
well,
asking point blank would be a
since
good idea.
since he's on the
I
cusp
have
of
a
death.
question.
You go ahead.
Because we did say that there was like inky fingerprints on the statue.
Oh, that's right. Try to see if
Would
anyone
it
has inky.
stain their fingerprints still, or like how long would it take the ink to wash off of their skin?
I
from
mean, one could get rid of some ink on some fingers, certainly, but I don't think anyone has ever tried to look at everyone's fingers here.
but that's what I mean. Is
So
would that even be a helpful thing, or is it all clean by now?
I absolutely think looking at all the ladies' fingers, lady fingers like in tiramisu, I'd certainly think that looking at all the ladies' fingers would make sense. Sybil, I'm going to say that you've already left. But in a group dynamic metagamey way, if somebody in that room would like to make a
All right.
roll,
How about this? I'm gonna try to subtly do this and say, well, just to make sure that we're all pretty safe, I want to do like a quick pulse check on everyone and look at their hands.
that's
Their
very
right hands, if
clever.
they're right-handed.
So there's gonna be a fun roll here, which is that I'm going to have you make the roll, and then so basically Vivian, Alicia, and Gladys are all in this room.
And Marchioness.
And the Marchioness. So you're gonna look at all four of their hands?
Yes.
Odette has already gone. All right. So one thing that's going to happen here is, and I'm going to be rolling this independently. Actually, I should get a different size for these. I'm going to be rolling some luck rolls. About if and some people don't need a luck roll. Maybe I'm going to make one audibly for everyone. So Doctor, go ahead and roll a basically a physical thing to sort of, as you sort of look to see if you spot anything. Let's see if you even succeed at any of this.
6.
All right. The Marchioness's hands are clean.
Okay, good strong pulse despite the effects of the weekend. Please remain healthy for the time
and
being.
the age.
And the age that she's not a golden girl age here.
She is the oldest person in this house.
Gladys's hands are clean. Alicia's hands are clean.
Come on, Vivian. Don't fail me now. Have dirty fucking fingertips. You
Oh.
Creepy ass bitch.
know this is such an entertaining game, everyone, because I send so many private messages throughout it, and I'm just silent and typing.
Huh, I see.
Everybody's fingers look red, raw from scrubbing.
I see. Okay. I see we're all able to maintain the somewhat of our composure still. Make sure. Keep yourselves safe, all right?
Yes, of course.
I don't want to.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Running
thank
low
you.
resources here.
I'm just so glad that there are so many nice men here to protect us. Oh,
Of course, of course.
oh my. Don't leave us alone too long.
Yeah.
Of course, no.
Oh, poor Joey. She does seem legitimately very worried about Joey. So.
As for that, I'll say to the members of guests here, we should leave the family here to comfort their youngest child here.
Okay.
Well, even though he's like 23, I guess he's still, to me, sort of a kid.
He is by all metrics. So yes, as you leave them there, the rest of you head across to the other room.
Once are we back in the sitting room?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Doors closed. You're all there alone.
Vivian has blood under her fingernails. Now, I'm not a
Blood?
forensic expert, so it could be anyone's blood, but given the pattern.
Is it her
here-
menses?
Do you think I
Then
I mean, I just don't know that it's necessarily a.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
There's
ink.
lots of reason that
Listen.
women would have blood on their
As a
hands.
doctor, I assume that there's blood around all women all the time at any point.
Could
She's
it
bleeding
be
every
that
second of every day.
Just,
Oh man.
I know they just need a lot of ham, so they have iron. Because they lose so much iron. Bleeding out of their fingertips or whatever the hell happens every month. I can't. I'm a doctor. What do I... Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a lady doctor.
Anyway.
Doctor, do you think it's possible she was scrubbing her hands so hard that she drew blood?
Based on what I saw, the only thing I noticed was blood on her fingernails. I did not notice anything else odd about her hands, like being rubbed raw, flaking skin,
Neither
or
of
anything
the
like that.
two victims
But I didn't see
had
any
like
ink anywhere.
defensive wounds on them, did they? Like,
No defensive wounds
scratches?
on. No defensive wounds on. You were there when we saw Slickett. There was no defensive wounds.
yeah, but I wasn't there when you analyzed the bodies deeper, so.
Right. No defensive wounds there. And as for the bastard, he's not a bastard. For the legitimately born son of a bitch, I don't think even.
Is that driver still tied up in one of these rooms?
He's not tied up.
No,
he is
he's
not tied
recovering
up.
still.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know,
I wish
he's
he was
recovering
still
still.
Have we
tied up.
left a driver
So
tied up? Yeah.
Anyway, as for that guy, the one everyone wanted to kill but didn't get a chance to, his main wounds was
Someone got a chance to.
Okay, his main wounds were dashing his head against the rocks from the huge fall. Otherwise, I didn't mention any other wounds on him.
And it's impossible that he was killed a different way and then just dropped out there or something, right?
There
Make
were
it
no
look like he was
obvious
killed that way.
stab wounds, anything like that. No obvious.
And
bludgeoning.
neither of the bodies looked tampered with after or whatever. They just looked like they were murdered and left there.
I mean, yes. When I checked Slickett's, yes, the only obvious wounds was that one, and when I found the former Lord, the only wounds were the bludgeoning wounds on him. And
So besides the two dead bodies, has anyone? I mean, the driver was bleeding when he came in, right? Because of the car crash. He's the
Right.
only other one that's been bleeding.
Mhm.
Odette had a little bit of blood on like her head somewhere, but
Oh, that is true, but I don't think Vivian ever attended to Odette.
yeah.
Shocker.
I'm just
You seem so nurturing.
You were clever enough to look at everyone's hands, and I rolled Lux to go against it, and maybe everybody else who should have had stuff on their hands rolled high, but
Maybe.
But one of basically you would
The fact
based
that she
on
had blood on her hands is pointing to her, but I made a point to say anyone can have blood on their hands for any reason, but it's like,
I'll tell you what,
not
Doctor.
like I have like a blood analysis
I'll
kit.
I'll tell you what about this, Doctor. This is not medical knowledge. Just roll a knowledge. This
Roll
is like a
general
brain
knowledge?
power, kind of like investigatory
Okay.
thinking and sort of stuff. And there is a medical component, but I don't think this is like a full training.
I'm not legitimately going down this path, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying if we wanted to, I bet the maids know if it's her cycle or not.
Dude,
I think she's like 35, which in these days puts her menopausal.
Does it really?
No.
Oh,
I'm
Okay, I was like,
offended by that.
No. Anyway.
It absolutely does not.
Successful.
An 8. So
What medical knowledge do I know? Or general knowledge do I know?
it's not a medical
that
knowledge,
would-
it's more an
It
investigation,
was
it's
just
more
so
thinking.
sexist that it sent people into menopause earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was implying. That
sounds right.
That
Stress does
that,
cause that.
that
right?
the female body was so just used for decades already that by the time you were 35, it was like, all right, well, anyway,
I'm done here. I quit.
like, well, I guess that's all she wrote. Doctor, oof, yeah, I'll just
Sure.
tell you this because
What
whatever
medical knowledge
we've been
that
in 10
completely
things of these.
ruins your story?
Yeah,
that I know of?
there's you thought to do it and you have some things. I will say that given the size of that weapon, you know, the idea that he was stabbed is something so small, like pushing that in, there is and like there certainly was like blood off of it and even like on like the handle or whatever. Like the idea that someone would get blood on their hands in copious amounts from the stabbing of that person like that is is certainly probable.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Now, they also could have washed it, and you know, people did know how to wash their hands back then. Shocker, but it had only been invented like 10 years before. But yeah,
Okay. It makes sense that it would be much harder to clean under oh, I mentioned it was under her fingernails, so it's much
did.
harder to clean.
you did, and she did pull like you know there was upon you holding her hand, she did pull them back.
She pulled away. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I would have mentioned that she pulled away very quickly once I looked at took a brief glance at it. So, it hints that she knows that there's something hidden under her hands, or at least partial evidence somewhere, and wanted to hide it.
What if just a man hasn't touched her since her fiance just disappeared and it like freaked her out?
Oh man, are we going like the whole? Oh no, hand holding is lewd. that the anime
Oh,
fans
Dad.
would go to?
Yeah.
Oh no.
you're being awfully familiar with me, Doctor.
Why would you ever have a reason to look at my hands that way, Doc?
This is what we call seventh base in England because cricket is very complex.
Oh god.
This is what we call a sticky wicket.
But so it was blood and not. There was no ink on her fingertips, or
You saw no
I
ink.
didn't find any ink, so that hints that if there, may not have been ink on her hands, or she could have washed it cleanly for
yeah.
various reasons, including to clean out blood on her hands. But anyway, so it's something's pointing to Vivian here, but as for where to go with that, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, what was in that book, by the way, under Eustace Houston?
Lord Reginald, I don't think is Lord Reginald present at the moment.
Or is he just off screen?
Lord Reginald may be present. I
Everyone.
feel like
I mean,
he. Good.
he's muted, so we can't even.
Oh no!
Can't
Oh, no.
reply even if he's. I feel like he was maybe going to mention it, but
I wonder if he's laying on his bed and just shouting that out.
I wonder
Hey,
if he's
don't
like
you
just
hear
like if he
me?
fell asleep.
Oh no, he did that at 1.2 in the past.
because
No, he's
because
moving.
it's
He's
just
moving.
Oh no, yeah.
he probably did on account of how it's just been.
It was definitely the other thing.
Did you?
Uh,
Had a long day, man.
I didn't
Really
fall
tired.
asleep. You fell asleep. One of the.
Wow, you're in character.
None of you were in. Were any of you in the game where a person who I guess I should not name and shame because there's no shame in it. Obviously, life is stuff. But were any of you in the game where a player fully fell asleep at the end on stream?
No, but I know who
On
it
stream?
is
No.
because you guys mentioned
Yes, I remember.
Were you?
I was there.
You were in that game. What the hell was that?
It was a Star Wars game, wasn't it?
Was it a Star Wars
Was it-
game?
Was it
our?
actually
Yeah.
when I was playing with Otto when I
What's
was
in the
playing a
box?
doctor then?
It was. Yeah, basically it was somebody who now I won't say who it is, but it's somebody who runs a Star Wars game on Sunday nights on the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fully fell asleep out of stuff, but like not he like on camera, like sleeping there, and we were like, it's like the game ended, we were saying stuff, and it was delightful. Anyway, yes, sorry, Lord Reginald.
It wasn't him that time.
So in any
wasn't this
case,
time either.
I did just what, and you can, and honestly, just be as vocal or not as you need to be, etc. But they are asking about the H entry.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll read it to them.
Okay. Do you want to, or should I summarize what you would say?
Please.
All right.
What does Lord Reginald speak of it, Parlor Master?
Lord Reginald will then tell you all, because I have to scroll up so hard because I have so many direct messages with different people right now. It appears that Dr. Eustace Houston was someone who could be easily blackmailed. There are many records and receipts and indications that he was involved in the selling of sort of certain substances. See, back in these days, there wasn't really like there were some controlled substances, but it wasn't so sort of so like wide, like it wasn't as controlled, like legally speaking. But he basically was nevertheless giving criminals all sorts of medicine, like medical grade stuff.
Was their family doctor? Sorry, who's?
He was their family doctor.
Yes, that delivered all the kids.
And Reginald, I hadn't sort of had you do this, and I know it wasn't really your forte, but I will actually say, if anyone would like to, you know what, Doctor, this is your area.
Sure.
Why don't you make an intuition roll?
Intuition. You're about to roll medical knowledge.
No, I'm gonna say because this is all about.
Okay, sure. 5. Ooh.
A 5, okay. I think that I'll phrase it like this: if Lord Course had this information on his own family doctor, who was delivering all of his own kids,
Right.
he could probably get that doctor to do whatever he wanted the doctor to do.
Including drug his wife.
If you're like, do me a favor, doctor, drug my wife for 2 weeks. I'm bad.
He said it exactly like that and
I-
tackled afterwards.
So then I guess
I'm a very
the
bad
question is,
person.
do we think he was also behind Severance's death?
It
Because
didn't mention.
I mean,
Did it mention that at all or no?
Anytime I hear that voice, I just feel like not solving a murder.
Never mind. Whoever did it did a service. Don't they get away with it?
Yeah.
It's not
so
a murder. It's cleaning.
the death of Severin is not included on this page. Doesn't mean the guy wasn't involved. You know.
I mean, it wouldn't be if Force had anything to do with it, right?
Exactly.
Like
He
it's not
would-
like he would
wouldn't-
write his
he
own
wouldn't-
crimes, like in
Exactly.
there.
Well, there are some of his own crimes are sort of alluded to, but not so specifically under the Ben Caesar entry.
True, I suppose.
There's a weird accounting of them, but nothing where it's like, did a murder for me, parentheses, Lord Course. Yeah.
Oh, one thing while we're already in the H's, just as a quick check, can you look up Lord? I believe his name is Smorley Heatherling.
Ooh.
Sure.
You would know this name, Miss Wilson. That is your stepfather.
Oh, I guess I do know that name.
I want to see if he has any dirt on that fellow because that's the only link I can think of someone who would.
Smorsley
Fine by me.
Hetterling. I'm actually I don't
I'm
want to
glad
give
all these letters just happen to be, or all these people
Ages.
just happen to be ages and stuff. Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away by the fact that I'm making a roll right now, but let's just roll it.
Oh,
I roll a 7 for Smorsley Headering. Wait, he should have a D6 as a base, not a D8. I roll a 4 for Smorsley Headering. Yes, there is in fact an entry on Smorsley Headering.
Anything interesting, or is it just random bits and bobbles?
he stole random bits and baubles.
I don't want this to be too rough on Sybil. But Smorsley Hetterling is a witless aristocrat who seems to have certain proclivities for the women he's interested in, and has been sort of has been caught in various sort of houses of ill repute that would specialize in his interest in older women. We'll phrase it like that.
Before I read that, can I turn to it and just go like, ooh?
You can. You also, I suppose, don't have to share this. But yes,
So
you
for
can
the
make
sake
a
of brevity,
face.
please
at
share
it.
So-
as you read it.
So look
He
and go,
sounds
ooh.
like a gentleman to me.
That's just what they. That's just what they do. I don't see anything weird
I
about
don't
this situation.
see any problem here.
Who is this
And
guy
neither
again?
do I,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Stepdad.
Your old stepdad doing some.
But he is younger than Sybil's mom. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, poor
As it
Smorsley
should be.
Hetterling.
He's older than me though, right? Like he's not like it's not like that.
He's about 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you said 25, though, oh boy.
No, that'd be problematic. But
I'll phrase it like this, Lord Reginald, whether or not you're reading all of this out. There's a lot of stuff of in particular, they call him the hard candy boy because he likes to be fed hard candies.
Okay, I'm not gonna read that out
Okay,
loud
cool.
there.
They're just
No,
like,
thank you.
even
I
I
will
know I
actually
don't
read
need to
that to
read
myself.
this. You're like, what? Hard candy boy? That's a cool nick. Oh.
Anything directly related to me? That's what I was thinking. I figured that might have been the link between, me and Lord Corse. And I know I visited every now and then, but I don't know where he got the idea.
I don't
that
think
I
our
do some-
pages are gonna. I think our pages were torn out or whatever to not
Yeah,
be in
we
here.
did not find Gordon last time.
Does anyone here, actually several of you probably do, who here's got, here's how I'll do it. Let's
I
do
do.
it group style. Does the group collectively
Probably not.
have aha points equal to the game started with 15, and I know many have been spent. Let's say, are there 11 left amongst you all?
I gained one and then lost one, so I'm still at max.
You're
so I'm
at 3, 3,
A 2.
2,
One, two.
3, 2.
That's more than 11.
That is 13. Okay.
We could even take out one person and still have enough.
Who do we kill? No. I will say there is this is
Who do we sacrifice to the DM?
Okay.
So, you, kind of all of you begin to realize as you talk about those missing pages. You have all been respectful to a certain degree up to this point. There is a line that, aside from a couple of you off the books, have not crossed. Which is that you have only searched unoccupied bedrooms. The basically, you know, you haven't gone into literally every room in the house, etc., but like there are the rooms of all of these course family members. Some of you have been in some of them, but you have not sort of ventured into all of these yet.
Are they? And they're all in the library right now?
Everyone seems to be in the library at this moment.
Are you telling us this just because we have 11 points, or is there an action coming up that we're going to spend 11 points?
No. This was a thing of like how much aha juice is left in this group. Will I give them this hint?
I see.
So I'm just.
So here's the thing. I didn't go into people's rooms because one, if they were in the room, obviously they weren't going to let me search it, and I never know where anyone is because it's not like I have GPS tracking on every single person in the home. But two, I figured if they were in that room or they caught me doing it, I would be ousted from the house or whatever because...
And it's raining out there. Sorry about the weather.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
That's why we go in pairs. One goes into the room, search it, the other person is standing guard and waylays whoever comes by.
I think it's about time we take the gloves off and speak to whoever is the current highest ranking family member, which is, coincidentally now, Alicia.
That's still the Marchioness.
Oh, the Marchioness. Right. Yeah.
See, we forget about her.
Because
she's so
and
ridiculous.
I would say, let us, it is clear that there is some family shenanigans going on. Let us, as an outside party, facilitate an investigation on what is going on, and we will officially be able to search everyone's rooms.
I don't know about that.
So basically, there is.
Who is our main suspect? Maybe we should just look in Alicia's.
Well, now Vivian, because of the blood in her fingertips, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Their rooms, you know, while they
at some point in
the
time, the subtlety has to go out the window, and we have to just investigate with full vigor.
If they say no, there is nothing you can do. It's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Are you kidding me? No.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to ask them. I could just pick the lock on their door.
Actually, I can pick the lock as well.
What?
I am an escape artist. Do you really think I do not know how to pick locks?
And this is an old lady.
Fair.
Do you think she
Mr.
gives a crap about permission?
I mean, based on what we found in those files, perhaps I should have been clued in maybe a little sooner on who my father was, because he taught me lockpick. It was something we bonded over. It was like our father-daughter activity. So perhaps I should have put the pieces together sooner, but I did not. I thought it was just a fun thing we did that annoyed Mom, you know?
You know what, guys? I'm hearing it now.
Father gets
yeah, now that I say that out loud.
Maybe stealing cars isn't a usual hobby for people, huh?
Yeah. We just did it to annoy Mom, you know, get into things you weren't supposed to. I didn't know. How could I know? I just...
I think, Sybil, your talent for getting into things would be perfect, right? Huh?
Yeah, that is a talent.
Let's get into some rooms.
I really want, like, when we do eventually level, I want the next thing on Sybil's thing, just getting into real shit, like the next skill she has.
Just like the next level on the felony charge.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only my dad that's a criminal, I swear.
I just
For now.
I just pick locks. I just
pick locks and then
to safe cracker.
There is definitely a debate, an understandable one. Dr. Gordon thinks this should all sort of be done, like, kind of be straight with them. Tell them we need to search everyone's rooms now because there might have been a third murder attempted. Whereas some of you think that, I mean, the way the Baroness phrased it, even better to kind of, if we get caught, then we're like, we were just investigating. But if they tell you absolutely you can't go into our room, then they're probably guarding their room on the lookout more, you know.
Perhaps
it's tricky.
That's true.
If it were, I can't believe I'm going to say this sentence. If it were just a murder, I would understand, you know, trying to be polite and saying we're going to investigate. But it's not just a murder, it's also them deliberately toying with us and blackmailing us here
Yeah.
to witness these murders. So
Yeah,
perhaps we should.
There is a sinister mind behind these.
Okay, we can't trust them, regardless. All right.
So there's Alicia, Gladys, Vivian. Are we including Joey and Odette into our victim pool, or into our murder?
I think
At
murder
the
pool?
bottom of the line.
No.
Everyone.
I think
Everyone.
I would say Alicia, Vivian,
I will say-
Gladys.
I'm gonna put Alicia and Vivian at top 2, honestly.
Odette.
I'll say
Yeah.
unequivocally, Odette couldn't possibly be involved with most of these because she wasn't here to move around the statues. She showed up late to the party.
But
Right.
she might have had a
I mean, she could have just talked to them. Yeah.
She could have been
Just
the
because she didn't
accomplice.
physically. This could be a whole this could be like a way of family bonding. Maybe they're all in on it. Like we don't
We
know.
just do a little bit of blackmail and surprise murder parties. That's just what we do.
But I think so. Wait, there's
What is this?
5 of us.
Every
We
every
should
summer we
probably-
get together and kill one family member. Fuck.
We should split into 2 groups. Me and Ivan each in a different group, since we're the lock pickers, I guess. And then look at our top 2. Meet back if we found anything, and if not, then we go down the list. Perhaps, I don't know.
I think the best strategy right now is if we're gonna do that, we should get started immediately while they're still around Joey, and start with
Yes.
the closest rooms, which is 1 level up, which is what, Alicia?
Alicia's on the 2nd floor.
Oh,
Vivian's on the first floor.
is Vivian, and Marchioness's room is Zeus.
Vivian, the Marchioness, and Gladys are all on the first floor.
I would just like to say I want nothing to do with the Marchioness's room. I am afraid of what's in there.
Well, I
Based on
have
things I have
seen
learned
the
today.
Marchioness's room, haven't I?
I'm sure you.
Yeah,
have
Ivan. you've
Yeah.
you've
We don't
You're
need to
very
go into the
familiar
Marchioness's
They
Ivan,
just
room.
see it
you've
during the day, though.
Ivan, you've seen the bed, you've seen the divan, you've seen the makeup table, you've seen the bathtub.
I've seen the
Carpet.
bed cover a few times actually.
You've seen all up in her vagina.
But like in the bed.
Well, on that note, I think that's where we'll call it a night.
that's our final line of this session.
So it sounds like the plan next time there will be a bit of a thing is there's going to be some investigating whether you guys decide to split up and kind of hit multiple things at once, or whether you kind of just are going to go, or if you're going to do it geographically, if you wind up doing like Vivian and Gladys because they're both 1 floor above and holding up Alicia. We can sort of debate that before next week and decide. But you have a plan of action, you've gotten some information, and we had a little almost murder scare. But because you kind of saved a life, now there's really
This game
net.
literally was like 10-15 minutes in game time.
Yes, more or less.
Yeah, maybe a little longer. Probably there was
Half
there
an
was
hour.
probably like a half an hour to an hour of everyone like tensely standing around as like a guy's being moved, you know. So it wasn't that bad, but because you saved a life, that's net only 1 murder.
That's how it works.
Because there were 2 murders, and then 1 guy didn't get murdered, he's safe, so now it's like...
But then which murder did that cancel out? Because if all we have left is solve Corsa's murder, I don't know that I'm into that. I'm not really here for that
it
one.
canceled out Corsa's murder.
Okay.
The Baroness wants to solve the case of the wannabe blackmailers. We need to find out.
Yeah, that seems to be who you guys are really after.
I don't think it's a folder. I think because we all have like different spelling, like different letters. I think
Yeah,
our pages were
that's-
just ripped out.
Whatever it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you all so much for playing and watching. If you like what we do here, please follow our channel or subscribe, all that fun stuff. Go to our About page to see the cool stuff that our players get up to, the About page here on Twitch, or go to our Discord to read recaps, all that fun stuff, interact
Dibs on
with the
Alicia's room.
community. Dibs on Alicia's room. If you would like to watch some other weird games we play, the next thing we broadcast does not have a specific time. It'll be sometime before Friday, I think. Oh wait, Sophia, and because I think Sophia Distracted was not here when we made this announcement. Apostrophe this, I think you were here when we said this, but I know Sophia Distracted. You were really talking about this last Friday. For my players here, apologies, none of you care about this part. So for Star Trek, we are going to do weird, I am going to number them in a weird system, but we're going to do like short little, just like random in the day streams where we kind of play like a really loose version of a Star Trek game, just so we're like churning through more episodes so that we have 20 some odd episode seasons and stuff. So yeah, so check that out. I think I'm gonna do one with Dan on Wednesday or Thursday. If they'll probably be more like in the afternoon LA time, so I know a lot of people might be able to watch them, but they're gonna be fun and weird, and we'll kind of just do those off the cuff at various times. So check those out whenever. I will post about them. I'll do an Instagram post and a post, a little ahead of time just so people know. I'll post on Discord. On Friday, we're in Voluptua. It's the sexy horror one. It's so stupid. Please come and enjoy it. 7:30 Friday nights. Every week it's dumber than the last in a hot way. In a totally sultry way. On Saturday, there's another Long Lost Loves, the talk show that Lauren and Liv will be doing. I don't know what the subject is this week. I'm sure they'll announce that soon. On Sunday night, and that's at 11:30 a.m. Sunday night, 7:30, I think a more Wretched Hive will happen. We've taken the last 2 weeks off. Kind of suddenly, so apologies, but hopefully we're back on Sunday. And then Monday, more Civilized Age, 7:30, our other Star Wars game about centuries after the time of Luke Skywalker. And then, a week from tonight, watch them search some rooms and
find nothing, because we'll only get 2 minutes in.
I mean, that's my only saving grace for it not being the last session, but I will say, if you guys are getting to the room searching period, the likelihood of it being the last session is going to be increasing largely. I'm not saying it will be the last session next time, but...
Because we'll find nothing.
Are we going to find the note that said I did it?
It's a diary entry. It's all laid out in the diary.
Yeah.
How I did it, why.
We could have solved it in 1 minute. We just decided to search one random room. It's like, well.
Yeah, how I did
it's
it.
It's gonna be like Philip put like the actual name of the culprit in my notes, and I just didn't remember or something like that.
Well, there have been some. I will say, in a way, that it ultimately is on me, and I'm gonna. If I ever run another murder mystery game like this, I'm gonna rethink some things. Like, I think I might have put too much in emails to all of you that then I made a mistake with this game. We'll close on my failures. The problem with this game is that I both put important information in secret messages to some of you, and then I introduced the idea that one of you is the murderer, and thus there is no trust amongst any of you, and this was a bad way to do this. So in a future thing, I will either find a way for that not to be an impediment, or remove the maybe someone in the group did it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you didn't put too much information because we've solved nothing. You had to give us a hint with 11 points that we should search the people's rooms because we weren't going to think of that on our own.
I feel like that is also too much information because
I'm not a detective. I'm a doctor.
I think at the same time, it is part of what Mario's saying. There's a lot of intel.
Noblewoman, what do I know about these things?
I also have a habit of I'm going to give them a ton of information so that the real clue isn't obvious, and that's probably a dumb thing to do. I could probably just give you the real clue and let you figure it out.
Overestimate ours.
You probably just give us the real clue and then we say,
twisty brain,
you
and
think
we just
too
cannot
highly
keep
of us
up
is
it.
the issue.
Well, in terms of entertainment value, you guys are a 10 out of 10.
You gave us a crossword puzzle where only one of the things is actually relevant.
Oh, I should have given you a crossword puzzle where it's not a full grid, where it's just one word's intersecting, like that. Yes. I getcha.
Yeah.
Just a T,
just the T cross. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, very good.
Wait,
I need to follow you. Oh, minor secret about understood. I will have Lauren do that. Sorry, there's a message in chat about how I need to follow someone on Instagram, and I will do that. I assume there's just a button you hit for following on Instagram, right? I don't think I followed a single person on Instagram. Guys, no, Instagram, true story. I felt so pathetic when one time Lauren asked me, because I can post the images to it, and then there's all these messages, and I was told not to click those, because someone else is handling that. And then one time she asked me to make something called, was it a story? Not a reel. The reel's the, anyway, whichever one she made me make. Why is it so hard to do that? It's so hard to make those, and there's no confirmation that you've done it. So I think I posted it like 3 times, and then Lauren said, I'm not gonna have you do this anymore. Like,
boomer.
there's no
How
thing.
are you
Yeah.
like 85?
I don't know. Only on Instagram and many other social media things. On other things, I'm barely 10. Reels are impossible. Thank you, Sophia Distracted. Well, thank you all for playing so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, despite the everything. But this was very fun, and we will see you all next time. Until then, the game is afoot.